I would like to share three things today with you, which I avoided as a trainer. I started my training career just 1.5 years ago, but today we have more than 20,000 students, paid students across 128 countries. This company is worth more than $2 million. Now, something which I really wanted to do, very tempting. I thought, yes, I should do this, I should do this. But then somewhere I thought, no, let me listen to my heart and I don't want to do this because I'm not liking it. Three things like that. Let's take one by one. The first thing, after spending 6 months doing on my own, training people on public speaking skills, then I thought time has come where I have to hire a consultant. I thought I should reach out, correct people, understand from them that how to take this business further. So I hired one consultant and that consultant asked me, Praveen, tell me, what is your niche? I said, I love to teach people how to speak effectively in front of people. Whenever they're standing in front of people, I teach public speaking skills. And he said, this is very generic. People need something new. I said, that's okay, but I want to teach public speaking skills only. And he said, you keep on teaching what you want to teach, but the way we are presenting or the way we should present in front of people, that should be new. I said, okay. So that person took the entire brief from me, and then I still remember he giving me a call. He said, Praveen, I have sent you one presentation. Have you seen that? I said, yes, I have seen that, but I have not understood it. Can you just help me to understand that? He said, yes. No, you don't teach public speaking. You teach truth metrics to people. I said, what I teach? Truth metrics. I said, okay, that sounds very, very new, very innovative word, truth metrics. What exactly that is? He said, there's a story behind truth metrics. I said, what is that story? He said, the story is this, that you have critically analyzed 100 TEDx talks, and based upon that critical analysis, you have created a metrics. And if you understand this metrics, it will help you to speak out the truth of your life confidently in front of people. I said, that sounds interesting, but I've never critically analyzed 100 TEDx talks. I might have seen more than 100 TEDx talks, but there's a difference between watching TEDx talks and critically observing TEDx talks and taking notes from training perspective. He said, Praveen, this is called hired credibility. I said, what do you mean by that? A hired credibility is like something which you are going to do in the future, but you are just hiring that credibility today. I said, okay, so, and the name of the game is Truth Metrics, which is based upon lie. So I said, I'm not very comfortable. Because the number one thing which I've learned in public speaking, ladies and gentlemen, is this. If you're lying, you can't be confident. So I said no. So the first thing which I said no to marketing jargons in training. Last 1.5 years, on the peak of my voice, whether people are agreeing or disagreeing, I'm saying only one thing, that public speaking is a learnable skill. But the question whether you are interested or not interested in this skill is a fundamentally incorrect question, because if you want to grow in your life, you have to learn how to speak effectively. So I still teach public speaking only, no marketing jargon. So number one thing which I said no is to marketing jargons. Number one. Number two thing was very tempting to me. Someone said, Praveen, is all about emails, and the easiest way to collect emails is ebook. I said, okay, yeah, I have seen lots of people sending emails, and even I have given my emails for collecting ebooks. But I said, I've never learned how to write a book. He said, it's nothing. Ebook is nothing. It's like 4 to 5 pages, it's done. And I said, I agree with you. Sometimes I just take one ebook and then I open it, just a PDF file. It's like even they don't add even colors in that. He said, Praveen, that's ebook. You're just sharing your knowledge with people via ebook. Why didn't I agree to this? I said, no. I think book has certain value. The moment you say you're an author of one thing, it has certain credibility. It has certain value. We have to respect that word. The word author itself is derived from authority. So fortunately, I got an opportunity to get trained under Gary Robert. Gary Robert from Canada is one of the best authors and best person on the planet to teach you why to write book and how to write book. So even though I was attending that workshop, in keeping in mind that I should write a book on public speaking because I was building my credibility on public speaking, but on the other hand, I have one more company, which is IT company, and there was something else very close to my heart was pharma industry, healthcare. And Gary Roberts said that the first book which you should write is something which is very close to your heart. And there was something which is more closer than public speaking to my heart was medicine adherence. What do you mean by that? Understand, out of 20 years of my professional career, 10 years I was in pharma, in job, and I was selling drugs, medicines. And out of those 10 years, 8 years I was in HIV and AIDS. And in HIV and AIDS, people used to die just because they were avoiding their medicines. They're not taking medicines on time. Medicine adherence is a big problem, by the way. Even in USA, just because people do not take their medicines on time, people die. Every 5 minutes, one person is dying because of medical adherence. So I decided to keep public speaking aside, and I wrote a book. This is a book I have. Stop buying medicine if you are not going to have it as prescribed. This was my first book, and I was very excited, and I followed all the techniques and methods what Gary Robert taught in those 3 days of workshop. And then after that, I learned how to write a book. And then I also learned that according to him, according to Global Authority, he said that books, they have to be around 75 to 100 pages, not more than that. There's a proper study saying that if you're writing very thick books, especially if you're a new author, if you're an old author, that's absolutely okay. But if you're a new author, write 75 to 100 pages book. The chances of people reading and completing your books, very high. So even if you see my public speaking book, 20 tips, is almost 90 to 100 pages, that book. So the second thing which I avoided is writing 4 to 5 pages, around 10 pages ebook. That's not fair. It's like that's doing injustice with this word author or book. Third thing which I avoided was very tempting to me, and many people they said you should write, and that is writing #1 public speaking coach in India. And I saw lots of people. I saw in last 1.5 years also, there are a few people who started their training career, and from day one only, they said they write #1. I said I respect. If they are feeling #1, I respect their feeling. But I don't feel that. I don't want to be in that race only #1, #2. I never entered in training program or training people because I want to be #1. The only reason I decided to spend my time, energy, money, resources in teaching public speaking skills because it has changed my life. How it has changed my life? It has changed my professional life first. The way I speak in front of my team members, in my investors, or maybe clients, it's helping me to improve my professional life. Even it has changed my personal life. The way I speak in front of my parents or in front of my family members. It has changed my financial life. The way this skill is helping me to reach millions and make millions. So it has changed my life. So it's not about #1. #2 is too small to say #1, #2. The question is that, do you have a skill which solved one problem in your life, and then open your eyes, you see many people, they have the same problem. And you help people to solve that problem, get the same benefits. I think that is more important than #1, #2. I remember someone asking me this year when I was participating in World Champion of Public Speaking, and I could able to reach quarterfinals of World Champion of Public Speaking. And he said, Praveen, in case if you win this competition this time, then you will write #1 public speaking skill. I said, no, absolutely, there's no connection. The day if I win the World Champion of Public Speaking, it means I'm a good student of public speaking. That doesn't mean I'm a good trainer. Training is different. You implementing your skill in your own life is a different thing, and you training people is a different skill. So I don't want to be #1, #2, #3, because moment I say #1, if I declare #1, then there is no scope of learning. I will feel that I'm already reached there. Then what is beyond #1? Nothing. So these are the three things, ladies and gentlemen, were very tempting to me when I started my training career. And then I thought, no, I should not do this. I should avoid. Now, whenever I share my perspective, I always share with you that I'm not asking you to accept my perspective. Neither I'm challenging your perspective. I'm just sharing my perspective. Do what you want to do in your life. But wherever I've reached in my training career, I think these three things, that I didn't do these three things, maybe these three things might have played a little role in that. This is Praveen signing out until we meet again.